Microsoft is kind of riding high right now. I feel like they've been doing some good things. Obviously, everybody's kind of talking about Indiana Jones, and that's been quite a success so far. But there's also other things that people are kind of talking about, and I feel like Microsoft has a situation in front of themselves to really kind of expand on a franchise, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that they've really kind of failed at. I mean, you look back at their past, they've had some really good success with stuff like, Gears of War, Forza, as well as the Halo franchise. And of course, all that stuff has kind of cooled off a little bit over the years, mostly thanks to the fact that they kind of milked those IP, and they ended up not really doing the IPs justice. They brought back like Halo was being done by people other than Bungie, Gears was being done by people other than Epic, and so I think that hurts a little bit some of the bottom line. And we'll see. I have high faith in Fable. I think that is a good team working on that, multiple good teams working on that, so we'll see how that kind of works out. But at the end of the day, having a new franchise, a franchise that can be counted on to be a hit, to score well, and things like that, I think that would be pretty kick-ass. And that's what this is kind of about, because this news, I feel, is really good news. What's up, everybody? I'm Crab Gamer. This is Crab Gamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate it. I'm doing daily video game content here. I look forward to doing it. It's just amazing to get the feedback and stuff from all of you. So yeah, it's something that I look forward to doing every single day. Maybe a video, sometimes two. Really kind of just depends on what's going on in the gaming world. But anyway, like I said, we are definitely living in a very interesting time for gaming. In particular, there's a lot of cool things that we're seeing. Like, it looks like Xbox is kind of taking some chances with some things, and I genuinely like that. I think that's a smart thing on their part to do. You also kind of look at some of the things that are kind of going on right now, and they've done a pretty good job of getting some of these games out and things like that. If you look at it, like they've been known for multiplayer games, but they've put out Starfield, and they put out they put out stuff like the recently released Hellblade 2 a few months ago. These are single player games, and you can't really say enough good things about that, because they've been known for something completely different. And now it looks like Lucasfilm says that they would be very interested to tell more Indiana Jones stories, so this could be really good for Xbox and Xbox fans. Maybe that this one was on going to be multi-plat, maybe the next one's not, and it's so good that people buy an Xbox for it. Anything can happen. But Indiana Jones and the Great Circle was released for Xbox, and was well received by critics, collecting 87 Metacritic on the Metacritic scores. The single-player first-person game is set in 1937, between the events of Raiders of the Lost Ark and the Last Crusade films. It sees players embark on a globe-trotting adventure to stop sinister forces from uncovering and harnessing an ancient power connected to the Great Circle. Developer Machine Games is currently working on DLC for the game called The Order of the Giants, which will be released in 2025, as well as a PlayStation 5 version of The Great Circle, which is coming next spring. In an interview, Lucasfilm Games Vice President and General Manager Douglas Riley said that there could be franchise potential in the partnership with Machine Games if The Great Circle is successful. And I quote, "Right now we're focused on getting this one out to the public and getting to the DLC and making this as successful as we can. I think we're always looking for great stories, and the good news is there's a lot of space in between the films where we could tell more and more Indiana Jones stories, and I think that would be super interesting." He also touched on whether The Great Circle is considered canon to the wider Jones cinematic universe. And I quote, "So canon is such a complicated concept. It is an authentic story set between the two movies of Raiders and Last Crusade. We work closely with the studio on franchise management, so yes, it is meant to be an authentic Indiana Jones experience in that sense." So again, I like kind of what they're doing here. Like I said, who would have thought an Indiana Jones game would be the game that really kind of goes out there and, does like some amazing stuff Like Microsoft, and I've mentioned this numerous times, good games can cure all, right? It's a shame that Microsoft didn't give themselves more time with the plan to get like these games out and stuff like that before like putting them on PlayStation and going down that route, because I feel like they could do something incredible if they just stuck to their guns a little bit longer, and I think that's what a lot of people are kind of hoping for or waiting for, at the end of the day. I would love to see that, but see, I like Indiana Jones. I grew up with Indiana Jones. Is Indiana Jones a huge success? It's hard saying. It's coming in at like number 25 on the most played Xbox games. That's not terribly impressive, but at the end of the day, maybe people are maybe just having a game like that is a critical darling. Like, to me, I honestly think that Microsoft didn't exactly know what they had there, because I feel like if you knew what you had there, you don't really release that game in November, so to speak. And the reason why I say that, you don't release it in December, you release it earlier than that, because you really kind of missed the cutoff for all the game of the year stuff and all that kind of stuff. And I feel like that is a huge mistake, because you want to be able to go out there and have all these different games and things like that you can kind of jump into and play. So I hope that in the future, if there is more of these games, that we see them take advantage of it. But I don't want them to get to the point like they did with the movies. The first 3 movies are like kind of amazing. They're goated. Nobody can really say much about them. That 4th and 5th movie, I think that's where you start to see a lot of discourse, in particular that last movie. We don't want to see the hero be a schlub. I guess that's the best way I can put it. Like, as we grow up, the people that were heroes, for whatever reason, a lot of these companies are just obsessed with making them, like, the heroes look like crap. And that's what that last movie did to Indiana Jones, and it's just a kind of a real shame that happened. I hope that in the future that we continue to see, if there are more of these games, Indiana Jones as like this super awesome hero, out there doing the good things, fighting the good fights, all that kind of good stuff. That's, I feel like, what people want to see. Whether or not that's what we actually get, I think that's another story entirely. So like I said, I hope that Microsoft and Lucasfilm sticks with like the thing that works. You have to understand what works versus what doesn't work, and the stuff that doesn't work, you leave that out of there. You got just leave that stuff far, far away. I hope that Microsoft understands that you can't just be out there doing stuff because you believe that that there's some kind of audience that wants to see it or what have you. I just feel like you can't do that. And for me, I do feel like we're starting to see a little bit of the corner turn a little bit for Microsoft and go in Microsoft's favor. That doesn't mean that I feel like Microsoft will never make any wrongdoings or wrong moves, but you have a situation where you can build on this franchise, and it's not Spider-Man, it's not as big as that. I get it. I'm not foolish, but when you see stuff like this, I do feel like you can go out there and kind of just say, hey, this is a good chance. This is a significant chance to go out there and do something and impress people, because I have a feeling that at the end of the day, gamers are willing to give Xbox a chance, because Sony's dropping the ball pretty hard lately. So we'll see if that's something that continues to happen. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but I do feel like that there could be a change brewing, and we could be seeing Xbox pick up some of those W's from around the way there. So that's always the hope, because that could breed competition and all that kind of good stuff that I think we're missing a little bit right now. Because let's just be real, Sony doesn't look at Microsoft as competition. They're supplying games for them. So yeah, it's a weird situation all around. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about this. Do you guys feel like this is, you know, good stuff, or do you guys feel it's bad stuff? Would you like to see more indie, or maybe not? Let me know. Rate, comment, subscribe, rack 'em up. Crap Gamer out.